Mine sveinar heime ved og gjøy med det gulleballe, de andre seks på Heidingland og gjøy med det Jan I Kalle. Vi det ut av Franklandet med dyre.
It's
I do now. You're good.
just kicked on. Yeah, it's short. Oh, there he is. Perfect timing. Zypher has entered the fray. Welcome everybody back to Paladin Warriors of Charlemagne. My name is Bo. I will be your GM tonight for tonight's festivities. We're up to session number 25 in our epic campaign. And we have all the usual suspects with us tonight. We have Zypher, we have Walter Peck and Tet, and last but not least, William of Ardon, risen from the grave to join us once again in our campaign. All right, let me switch the map to Italy. There we go. Introduction. Early August 778. The summer air warms with the morning sun as Renier, Samson, and their refound friend William ride east from Rome. With them, on the knight's right side, and towards the front of the column is Aelfric the Bishop, known as the Redeemer by the folk of Rome and Tuscany. It may be that they ride with the glory of God in their hearts, for they had just witnessed the baptism of the former king of Wessex, Cadwalla, and his youngest daughter, Elswith, not to mention the newly named Prince Pepin of Italy, formerly Carloman, Charlemagne's son. Indeed, the future of the Papal States and of the newly expanded Frankish state may be bright. In fact, some folk on the street and in the north in Aachen are already clamoring, words of empire on their lips. But for now, a storm gathers on the horizon, and despite any religious zeal, the riders may have a sense of unease beneath it all. Across the Tyrrhenian Sea to the west, part of the Mediterranean, there is darkness. While in Rome, the knights had received word that Charlemagne himself marches to Spain with his paladins. But there is this matter at hand. After a few hundred years in southern Italy, the Byzantines feel more threatened after the Franks have conquered Lombardy. Charlemagne's relationship with the Pope, to them, is even more concerning. Who does this king think he is? The true seat of power of Christendom, according to Emperor Constantine, lies in Byzantium, the true heart of the Roman Empire. Recent inroads have been made to Naples and Benevento. Duke Gregory II and Prince Achus secretly resent the Franks, and Prince Leo, the Byzantine, hoped they would become Byzantine allies. But in the Dark Ages, nothing is as what it seems. As our player knights make the journey to Spoleto, reconvening with Renier's forces and waiting for the Pavian army to march south, they make plans for dealing with a political and military maelstrom. And as the scene opens, we have the army with Renier and William and Samson and the bishop in the ranks, heading east from Rome, across low mountains and rolling green countryside as the sun rises in the east, casting long golden rays across the verdant vineyards of Rome and southern Tuscany. On the way to Spoleto, who knows what the future holds? These Byzantines are stirring up old resentments among the descendants of the Lombards, namely in Benevento and Naples. What are you guys going to do about it? Take it away.
Where are we now? Are we near Spoleto or?
Oh yeah, just kind of en route from
So
Rome to Spoleto. Yeah.
Renier is on his horse, and he is riding alongside his longtime friends, and he begins to talk about you pass a vineyard. He says, "This must be one of Christian Minucci's vineyards. He owns fealty to me. One day I will send all this wine to the north, the finest wine in all of Europe, all of Christendom even."
It is a bold statement from you, Duke Renier, but I believe the matter at hand is ensuring that the entirety of Italy is either under the control of Lord Charlemagne, our king, or under his vassalage. Do you not agree?
Of course, I am here to help in any way I can. I have been in this place longer than anyone else as a man of our king, and I do plan on serving him for a long while. Until my death, of course.
William will look up. Death is only temporary. You'll end up in the kingdom of heaven, living forever. Well,
But of course.
yes, we will. I don't know about you, Legree.
What are you saying? Are you saying my soul is damned to hell? Quite a rude thing to say to your good friend.
Let's just say the slave girls and the widows, and they all talk.
Does not Jesus say to spread your seed so that mankind can grow and prosper?
I
That
do
we do
believe
his
you.
will.
I do believe you have a point there. Perhaps the bishop will be able to expand on that.
Perhaps I can ask my chaplain Santino to read which part of the Bible exactly that comes from, no?
As long as all children are born under the grace of Christ, all is well.
Renier makes the sign of the cross. I agree. I will attempt to father a few more children in my day, and so God can bless them, and they can do holy works for him. Maybe perhaps one of them would become a priest.
That would be excellent. More people to spread the word out into the wilds, get these heathens to accept the love of Christ. That is always good.
And as the army continues its way across Italy, the weather becomes uncommonly hot. It seems that every once in a while, some of the folks in your army, not the lords themselves, but the small folks, the peasants, start to say that they're seeing ghosts of old dead soldiers on the road and that sort of thing. Nobody has deserted quite yet, but there's a little bit of unrest as one night there are rumors that the moon turned red as blood, and one of the streams where the horses are watered and fresh water is gotten for the armies was said to have turned to blood for a few hours during the middle of the night.
Samson will go about his retinue, ensuring his sergeants and his chaplain, and perhaps even his spy master, kind of try to counter these rumors that with the protection of King Charlemagne and the Lord Jesus, such superstitions are nothing to be concerned about, and the day will eventually be ours. X, what's your bishop's name again?
Is it Elf?
Aelfric, but you can just call him the
Aelfric.
bishop. Just the
Aelfric,
bishop.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samson will kind of address the bishop. What does the church have to say about such rumors? How about such superstitions? Are they portents of things to come, or just the wild imagination of the commoners around us?
Of course, it is the wild imagination. Those who have taken Christ into their heart, once their time on this earth is done, they go back into the embrace of our Lord. They do not walk about these battlements as wraiths or ghosts, as these common folk call it. If there are any ghosts, it will not be Christian ghosts. Maybe it is dead Saracens, or heathens from the north, or the unbelievers, or those who have committed the gravest of sins of taking their own life. No, these are not portents, these are not omens. These are just lost souls that did not do the right thing with the life they had, and now they must live it in the afterlife. But that will not be our fate. It won't be the fate of this army. We are all marching in the name of Christ, and so we are delivered.
Amen, Bishop.
Amen.
And the army leaves Rome, and so the kind of semi-metropolitan buildings fade away, and it just becomes a hot, big countryside. And you enter into Spoleto. The environs kind of turn more into rolling hills with dense forests on either side, and eventually one of the emissaries of Renier's household is seen kind of riding down the road towards the head of the column, where Renier is there upon his horse, and maybe with Aelfric and Samson and William and the others. And the rider kind of stops in a cloud of dust. "Oh, who goes there? I seek Lord Renier Legree, Duke of Spoleto. Alas, it is his herald, his messenger."
Rene puts up his hand. Yes, it is I. Come closer so I might see you.
Yeah, the rider approaches more, and it's one of your trusted messengers. "Hail, my lord! I trust the journey has been kind to you."
It has been good. I have been refilled with faith from our Lord Bishop here and my friends of many years, Samson and William, both brave knights.
William. Maybe like this is a messenger that's been joined your house since you took over the duchy. He probably has heard of William, but not met him. "Alas, I thought he now sat on the left-hand side of our Lord Jesus Christ in heaven. You spoke highly of him, but now he walks among us again. This
Lord
cannot
has
be."
seen fit to deliver him from death and bring him back to us for a glorious battle, and glorious battles to come in name of our King Charlemagne the Great.
Alas, for it is such ill tidings that I bring. It seems that the self-styled Prince of Benevento, Acus II, has sent an emissary to treat with you, as has the Duke of Naples, Gregory II. As of now, your forthwith wife has entertained them, and they are in our court awaiting your counsel, my lord.
Well, then, me and my comrades will go forth and treat with them, and see what they have to say for themselves.
Alas, the Duke and Prince themselves did not come. I do not know if it is wisdom or folly or perhaps cowardice. Your wife seems to think they are playing both sides of the coin, my lord. Alas, I'll bring tidings of your imminent arrival. One horse moves more swiftly than an army, but I estimate you are not 3 days' march away from Spoleto.
will make post haste to get there in a reasonable time. Tell my beautiful wife I will see her soon, and fill her
Yes.
with seed once again. Ha!
He looks at you and just, yes, my lord. He turns around and disappears in a cloud of August dust upon the trail.
You have another wife? What is this, number 5?
This is my second wife, and she is a
One that
beauty,
is
an
much
Italian
more-
girl.
much more honorable and prudence and virtue than the first one.
Yes, this is true.
Yes. I do
Speaking of
remember.
virtue to a fault, when is it that you will visit Gislinda?
As soon as we're done here, perhaps I shall head north.
She is actually she's here with us. She's in your capital. I brought her as part of the entourage.
Spoleto's capital?
Yeah,
Oh.
wherever you
What is that? I think. Well, we've always just said Spoleto. Is there a county?
Yeah, I just said Spoleto. You have like a country manor. I'll kind of move your tokens here so we can.
your manor, or I don't even know if you have a castle or a town or what, but
I don't know.
I know it's been a while in the last episode, but when I came down, I had
This looking thing.
my wife, I had several of my children.
Elswith.
Yeah, lock and key, motherfucker. But
She is my third wife. And my
I'd
next
have-
one dies in childbirth.
I'd have to meet this one. Legree seems quite taken with her.
he is not allowed near here, as she is my niece by marriage. If you did not know, you know I am married to Lady Aelfric, the sister of King Cadwalla of Wessex, as he was just recently baptized.
Yes, I don't think I was here when you got married, but I do remember that you couldn't sort him with her. Glad to hear. Warms the heart to know that you found love again.
It was for my service on the Isle of Wight, fighting the raiders and the pagans that had caused so much discord and trouble on the Frankish homelands. Yes, I must confess, after your death, of course, I mourned for you, but during her time of mourning, Lady Giselinda has been staying at my castle with her friend, Lady Aelfric, trying to bring her in good spirits again.
No, you see, she is closer than you thought. You can talk to her and then perhaps let her marry someone else, and then I could find you a suitable match, Italian if you would like.
Oh, so she is here. And you see a smile go across his face. Just didn't. He'll reach in and grab a book, and it's all worn out. I still have the book that she gave me.
I was unaware I could read, my friend.
Oh,
I just look at it.
Yeah, there are pictures in there? Drawings?
It's not about the pictures, drawings, words, or anything else. It's the fact that where I got it from.
Just because you cannot read the words does not mean you can appreciate the writing within the text.
Yes, the meaning.
Perhaps
I
the
had it read to
bishop
me
could-
once.
Perhaps the bishop could teach you to read. Such a folly
Give
and
me-
waste of time.
give me a read check there, William.
Is there such a
So
thing?
I know. Yeah, there is. It's 1. His skill is 1. You don't get to check it, but how do you guys react when it's clear that he can't read a single thing that's in there? I don't know if there's some dirty pictures in there, but it's pretty cool that William's completely illiterate.
I mean,
do any of you want to read it for me?
yeah, I can't read either, so.
I'm pretty sure mine is just as pathetic. Let me see where it is.
Mine's 0.
Mine's 0.
Well, the bishop.
I cannot read, however, perhaps our new companion, the bishop, could
It's like it's not in Latin.
what is in.
Let me see what his is.
You should be able to read.
Let me see.
I have a chaplain that may be able to read. Hold on, let me look.
Oh, he didn't set up his stats yet.
Here, my
Weird.
No, do the thing, the 2d20.
Yeah, 2d20.
my chaplain can read and write. You want him to do it?
Role play him in, yeah.
So as
Maybe
they're kind of
maybe
talking,
he's like overhearing.
yeah,
Ooh,
as they're
17.
talking, Chaplain Santino comes in. Oh, excuse me, my lord, but I could not help but to see you cannot read. Perhaps I can read this for you at a later time.
Perhaps.
It is a very easy text to understand. Yes,
If the bishop
I am
doesn't
from
want to,
Italy, as you can tell.
I will hand it to you. What does it say?
It says it is a me, Giselinda.
Well, of course it's me, Linda. She gave it to me. Samson, where do you find your priest?
I don't even, what is the book even fucking about?
I don't know. Hey, William, make me a romance.
Oh, man.
Here, it is a book about the countryside and the spaghetti.
Romance.
Check the history
Whoa.
right now.
Give yourself a check, son. That's a success. I want you to, you have to recite a poem that you've memorized, you've come up on your own, because you don't need these books. As you dream of Gisleda, you've composed verse. So I want you to do your best to give a little poem for us about your babe. And I'm going to give you a +5 to your roll with her next.
Still gonna fail.
So you want me... in the field of dreams where moonlight gleams, two hearts entwine in soft moonbeams. Their love a song that nature sings in whisper winds of angel wings. Oh, sweet romance like gentle stream, follow through the hearts that timeless dream. In each other's arms, they find their home forever bound, no longer alone. That is from Gislinda.
Whoa, it's good. I'm going to give you a point. I'm going to give you a point in romance. And a check. ChatGPT pump, I don't care. I don't care. Nice. How do you guys react to that? To this, this lilting tongue of William of Verdun? Who would have thought?
Wait a minute, this is something you devised for Lady Giselinda?
Ah, yes. I was told it was quite effective.
It's like Samson is like clearly like dumbfounded. He goes, it is clear to me whatever almost decapitated you back in Saxony clearly rearranged your mind in a good way.
Ah. It was for the love. One love. That is just Linda.
Renee looks very disappointed.
Father Santino goes, would you like me to put that down in verse?
Oh, that is a
You
very
have a
good,
tongue like an angel, William.
Oh, when are we
It
getting
would be
back
too
in the
much.
Gotta
camp?
stop or I'm not gonna be able to stop.
I dip my spaghetti in the ink and write it down.
I don't know about your Italian, please, Taylor Samson. He couldn't read the book, and he wants to write stuff in it. Give me
He
the
read
book
it?
back.
What are you talking about? He read it perfectly fine. He succeeded in his reading and writing role.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he did.
If you would like, my chaplain can read this to you at a later time, perhaps in private in your tent. You can see what it is that she has given to you, so you can share in that affection when you have a chance to see her again.
How far away are we? Hey, look at the green.
We are with this army behind us. 3 days march, I think.
Ah. Yes, perhaps he can recite it to me.
The chaplain will be most honored to read to you, Sir William.
You'll see him start looking up in the sky. Ah, just Linda. So close, but yet so far.
All right. Glory to William. A few more days pass, and there have been no more bad omens, no more streams turning to crimson, no more blood moons. William has been heard muttering prose while he sleeps in his tent at night. Now, whether he's touched by the angel Sophia or maybe just has a fever, who knows? But suddenly he seems to be quite the craftsman of words. After a few days, though, the road starts to pick up some traffic, and you see wagons upon it full of produce from the summer. And eventually you see Spoleto in the distance with its tan-high buildings cleanly pressing up into the summer sunlight. And as you go into the walled city, there's cheering as Lord Renier returns. And as you get closer and closer to the manor, up on the veranda, up on the balcony of the manor, you see several people kind of lined up there, one of whom stands out because of her beauty. That would be the Elena Vietti, the wife of Renier. On her right is Crispin Medlucci, Renier's business partner, Sir Leandro Vietti, which is Elena's older uncle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Willibald the steward, and Father Santino rides in your column.
Welcome to my home. It is much warmer here than it was at home. I have fallen in love with this place, if you will. The beauty of the countryside, the mountains, the hills, the greens and the reds. You'll be my guest here, William.
It does look beautiful. A stark contrast to the north, that is for sure.
You may stay here as long as you wish. You may live here if you want. Become one of my household knights, eh?
Down here is such a treacherous place, though. Don't you feel it? It's a little uneasy. It's not like back home.
It will be uneasy until Charlemagne roots out every traitor and every ill omen that he can and runs them into the sea. Perhaps there's just a few more that we must drive off and defeat.
And that we shall.
Behind Samson's great tactics and your great sword and my great looks, I think we can do it. As we always have. Right, Bishop?
Of course. No army can stop you.
You
Your
can
faith is
write our
strong.
deeds in a book.
I'll write the deeds of you and your progeny.
That's a long book.
Many books, if I am to believe the prowess
I have 8 children, I think.
He lost count. He has so many.
That was an out of character comment because I have to look at my family tree. He would know.
Eventually, Elena descends from the veranda and runs towards you, Renier. As you're on your horse, she runs toward you, gathering her skirts about her waist so she can go a little quicker. She runs into your arms, jumping up into them, lithe and fit, her dark hair pressing against your cheek, smelling of flowers
I'll
and
be in my
perfume.
bunk. No, Renee, he greets her with a hug and a warm, tender embrace. Ah, my lovely bride, Elena, there is someone I wish you to meet. Someone I have spoken of for many years that has come back from us by the grace of God, William of Verdun. And he points to William.
William would, of course, still on his horse, would give a slight bow on it. Ah, my lady. I feel like, Renier, you held back. She is much more beautiful than you let on. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It is difficult to describe such beauty. It is like looking at the sun, is it not?
Yes, I agree. He'll give her a smile, a little curtsy, bow on his horse.
Elena turns to William. William, the one I have known and heard so much about. It is a miracle to finally meet you, but do not believe my husband's words. He is not as much a lord in all circumstances as he would have you believe. His long trail of... Her voice kind of tapers off. Well, that's neither here nor there. I would say we make good partners. And she kind of whispers into your ear, Renier. And she says, I fear there are snakes in the garden, my lord. I would like to speak to you and your closest allies at the first chance you get.
Yes, well, Samson, Bishop, William, will you join us for refreshments?
Will there be some of your newly minted fine wine there?
Well, Crispin is here, of course.
Then say no more.
Bishop, will you
as always?
drink the blood of Christ?
Of course, I am a guest in your fine estate. I would like to partake the wines I've heard so much about. It is a pleasure to meet you, Lady Elena.
The pleasure is all mine. It is an honor to have a guest such as yourself. It's been too long since a bishop graced the walls of our manor.
It is he I give thanks for bringing me back to civilization. He found me in the north.
And for that he will always have a special place here in Spoleto. Come, let us find comfort in silence and speak amongst ourselves as old friends. And he will have the servants run off and do this and that, and then get them all together with Elena in private.
So you probably got a few hours while your horses are stabled and stuff like that. Does anybody else want to do anything or have any role play?
The only thing Samson will do is he will go to his encampment or wherever Renier has allotted his levies, knights, and family entourage to reside. And he goes to see his Lady Aelfric and kind of tells her of what's going on, and then also mentions that he wants his oldest son, Magnus, to attend this council with him, as he is a man of 10 and You're a young man of 10 and needs to start being a part of these conversations.
Didn't we agree last time in character that I would take Magnus as a page or a squire?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, so bring on him. Bring him.
Yep, he'll come, and then he will also remind some of his knights to ensure the ill... Did Cadwalla come with us, or did he stay in Italy? The
He
king.
stayed in Rome, yeah.
Did his daughter stay in there with him?
I think that could be kind of up to you. She would eventually have to return home, and I think he kind of went there to die.
Okay, then she would be with here. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she might have said her last goodbyes to him, knowing he was going to die of the consumption.
Yeah, he'll...
He's got TB.
Case, yeah. Lady Chelfrith, it is good to see you again. It has been a long ride, and I look forward to seeing you later and telling you of my exploits. But for now, I need to have a council with Duke Renier and his advisors on what is to be done in Italy. In the meantime, your niece, Lady Aelfric, is here, and I encourage you, as out of character, Chelfrith knows exactly what's going on. You keep close tabs on her and ensure she is guarded at all times to keep her out of trouble.
Yes, my lord. As you know, Aelfric is a free spirit. She'll find no end to amusement in the streams and rivers nearby, the fields and rolling hills. But alas, the dangers mostly lie with the stable boys. I'll keep her away from any temptation, Samson. As for yourself, there have been many rumors. Italy is not Aachen. It is not Verdun. There are snakes here, and many that speak with a forked tongue. Take caution.
Wise words, my lady. I will be sure to take caution with those that would pat you on the back with one hand and stab you with the other. I will ensure that we do not endanger ourselves, or Duke Renier endangers himself, or the business of King Charlemagne. And once that business is concluded, we will ensure that Lady Aelfric is returned to Wessex so she may find a suitable husband to ensure your nephew's power on the throne remains strong.
My lord, I shall take my leave now.
Yeah, with that, he'll kind of get changed clean from being on the road, put on his, he's always has his superlative lifestyle, put on his very fancy outfits, and summon his son Magnus to attend the council with him.
Have they changed some of the keyboard shortcuts on Roll20?
I don't know.
With layers and stuff?
I haven't been using it for much lately.
Yeah, same. I'm kind of...
Does Magnus has got red hair? Is he the one with red hair?
Yes, red hair. Magnus the Red.
What does it look like?
Yeah, let me describe him here. I got it written down.
I mean, get smart.
Sure. Magnus the Red. Boyle Hale.
How old?
He is 10 years old.
A 10-year-old tall red-headed boy in the Middle Ages. Let's see what old ChatGPT gives us here. Alright, you can continue, I guess.
Yeah, no, I was just curious. Yeah, so he would take them into his probably not formal dining hall to start after everybody's cleaned up and ready. And I don't know if William's going to head off and do anything before we start, like maybe go talk to Giselinda. This might be a good time for him to get shot down again.
William would wash up, but he probably wouldn't. He'd wait to see Giselinda until after the meeting. He wants to get the formalities out of the way.
Yeah, so Renier would he has everybody come into like his private dining area, probably where he eats mostly with Elena and his children. And just so you
Magnus.
know, only most of his children are not here. Just Adamo, which is Elena's son. They don't live with him. They live in one of his manors back in France, and he has them all, all wine and breads and pastas and whatever, grapes and olives. It's very Tuscan sort of style food, brought out, probably pretty different than what's in the north. And he sits down and kind of groans and pushes down his doublet and looks to Elena. My beautiful wife wishes to speak to us about what she has learned while we are gone. She has a good head for this sort of thing, so we all should listen very closely. My dear, please tell us what you know or what you think you suspect.
She has a little sip of wine. It's like a chilled white wine, and sits it down. As I mentioned, the Duke of Naples and Prince Acus of Benevento have both sent emissaries within the past week. Rumor is that both of them have amassed armies, their own retinue, as well as the townsfolk they could muster. Rumors are that their alliance hangs in the balance, although they come here suing for peace. Both state they are afraid of the Byzantines, that their encroachment to the south will overtake them, and they are afraid to give up their ways, which between you and me, Lord Renier, are all too reminiscent of the heathen Lombards of the past. I do not know who to trust. I leave that up to you, my lords,
I
but
will
I do
say
think we should treat with them.
it does seem odd that they would come to a Frankish lord ruling in Spoleto. I would think that I would be someone they would despise.
Perhaps the Byzantines are too much for them. Perhaps they struck a deal they couldn't admit, or, since they are Lombards, perhaps they are lying.
Or perhaps you are new to the area, as your duchy is something that was gifted to you. You're not a true man of Italy, and perhaps they see something they could exploit, or your loyalties might be in question to what serves Italy best.
Perhaps they believe I am a good contact or go-between to our king, being his duke here.
Yes.
We'll have to suss them out, I suppose. He looks over at Magnus and says, Magnus, lad, it has been a long time since I have seen you. Come here. Sit next to me.
He has gotten big. It has been a long
Magnus.
time since I've seen him.
Magnus kind of like looks at his father, gives a kind of slight nod, and he hurries over there to sit by Renier and bows before him. He says, "Oh, my lord."
Rene, he ruffles his hair and he's like, you are 10 years old. Perhaps a small sip of wine, if your father permits it.
Samson kind of waves a hand dismissively. But of course he has earned it. He did quite well on the journey from Aachen down to here.
He has someone come in and pour him a small cup of wine. He says, did your father tell you the arrangements he and I have made?
Yes, Duke, that I'm to become your cupbearer.
Yes. I feel strange. Just call me Uncle Rene. I am not really your uncle, but might as well be. This is your home now for a while, and then when you come of age, you will be my squire, and I will teach you how to fight better than I do.
Oh, thank you.
So, what do you understand of what we are speaking of? Do you understand that I am a Frank, like your father, here in Italy, ruling? It makes men hate you. Makes men, well, they are suspicious of you. A foreigner in a foreign land.
Magnus looks at his father and kind of, well, my father says the more powerful you become, the fewer friends and more enemies you acquire.
That could be true. That could be true. But you also inspire others, and you should remember, keep your good friends for as long as you can. You will know who they are. Mine are your father and William here, and perhaps this bishop who has now come into our company. Friends, they are important. You will always be able to lean on them when you do something dumb or you do something great. They will be there for you.
Wise words. My dad says he thinks of you as a brother, and that you have leaned upon one another in a great many battles, from retrieving the Oriflamme to fighting the Jutes to the Saxons to the Lombards.
Yes, certainly, certainly. Your father is a great warrior and a great man. Smart, cunning, bold. And I can see that you will have all these qualities yourself. And you will be much better looking.
He kind of laughs. That's what my mom says.
Well, you drink your wine and listen up to everything that's said, but one thing you must know, that your lips may never speak of it again to anyone that is not in this room.
You have my word. I will not repeat anything that I hear today.
Good. He ruffles his hair again and says, tomorrow you'll begin your duties. I can barely remember what my duties were as a page, but someone will let you know.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Well, I suppose this evening we should talk to these emissaries while we sup. Says that's kind of everyone.
Samson, kind of shakes a drink. He goes, I will be the first to speak. I do not care for the fact this one still calls himself a prince.
Yes, we must let us temper our words when we speak to them, to make sure that we do not ruffle any feathers. We need to get the truth out of them, right?
I don't think you'll ever get the truth out of these Lombards.
Not willingly. Trick them. Be smarter. I have learned in my short time as a duke, there's more to riding and fighting and he stops. Fighting. Sometimes you have to use what's in between your ears.
I believe the first thing we should do is see if they are telling the truth, or if they are sincere in their wish to parley with us. I believe they need to recommit their loyalty to King Charlemagne, and perhaps we could send out some of our own spies into Naples and Benevento and see if we can ascertain what is really going on.
Sending spies is a good idea. Elena, could you find the right people for this? Speak to your uncle if you must.
Yes, my lord husband. It would be my pleasure. Intrigue is something of second nature to us in Spoleto. I will do what I can to protect our new family's honor, my lord husband.
Wonderful. Well, Anything else? There's a few hours before dinner still. I'm sure you wish to rest and perhaps call upon old friendships. He kind of gives a look to William. I do not want to keep you from it, as painful it is.
Yes. Perhaps I should seek it out. So look over at Samson. Samson, where do you keep the Lady Gislinda?
She is in my encampment here. She stays with my wife and Lady Aelfric, the daughter of King Cadwalla.
Renier is like tapping his lips idly as you begin to talk about Aelfric.
Perhaps you can escort me, and I don't want to be a stranger in your camp. And perhaps you could introduce me to your wife's sister as well.
Of course,
I would be happy to come and speak to them and welcome them to Spoleto.
I am sure you have much to do with seeing your wife and your children. You have seen so little of them recently. I'm sure we do not want to bother that happy family affair. In addition, with your permission, I would like to send my spy Morellis to Naples to see what he can uncover of the Duke's loyalties and plans.
Of course, do whatever you think is best. And he kind of gives up on it and looks down Elena and smiles.
William will pat his back. Yes. Perhaps that is best. Tend to your needs here. He'll smile at him.
Magnus and I will drink another cup.
And William will look at Magnus. Magnus, soon to be young lord. Have you have the sword yet?
He trains in the yards of Castle Triarch, but he has not been, he is too young to be a squire, and as of now he is a cupbearer and page. But now I'm sure his training will soon begin in earnest.
And he looks him up and down. Yes, he's going to be a good swordsman.
He is both smart and skilled. I believe he will be an excellent swordsman, but his younger brothers Adalbert and Guntram, while they are fraternal twins, they could not be more different. Adalbert is a giant of a boy, and he loves the mace, the morning star, whereas Guntram is much more calculated. He darts in and out and is very aware of his enemy's movements.
William will need a squire one day.
I'm sure when he is settled in, my fourth son, Sigwald, would be more than happy to be his squire when he comes of age.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. But for now, let's go see the lady, Gislinda. It has been quite some time since I have seen her.
Yes, if it seems the Duke has invited me to stay and drink, and who am I to say no to the Duke, but I can have you escorted to my camp and meet with Lady Gislinda. I'm sure it is a reunion that is long overdue for you. Just remember that poetry that you so eloquently put to us yesterday.
Ah, yes. The desire burns. It is love that carries one. Love and faith. Now with that, William will take the escort to see Gislinda.
Yeah, Renier. Let me tell you of the time we drank in Verdun, and he goes off and starts telling some embarrassing tale about Samson, but not too bad. Bishop, will you join us? You said you would drink. We will need you to bless a sacrament.
Yes, of course. And that's why I'm here, to drink and to bless.
And I guess they will drink while William goes and does whatever he's gonna do.
William goes to the camp and doesn't find Lady Gislinda. One of the maidens says that since arriving in Italy, she's been so stricken by the beauty of the countryside that she's taken up writing music. And William can hear the clumsy sound of a lute attempting to be played up in one of the bedrooms as he enters into the castle keep. The tune that she's plucking out on the lute is lilting and sweet at first, and then she'll strike a wrong note and start again. But every once in a while, she's getting better and better and better. And as William kind of pokes his head into the room, he catches about 60 seconds of beautiful music with her playing it there. The light kind of cascading through the window, falling on her golden locks.
Does she cackle?
Yeah. Palpatine's in there.
She's showing some leg. She's showing some leg. She's got the garter. The garter's pulled up.
William, as he observes the last little bit of the music there. That sounds very beautiful. Almost as beautiful as the one who plays it.
She turns to her left and her eyes go wide, her pupils dilating as the music stops. Alas, my eyes, they deceive me. This is an old keep full of ghosts and hungry spirits. It is my eyes fooling me, showing me images of one I love. Go home, Spectre. You are not welcome here. I have laid William to rest in mine heart.
If only that easy to lay to rest. For as the Lord did not have use of me as a dead man, but he had use of me in other ways. I have found my way back here. You'll step more into the light. It is not the ghost that haunts you, for it is I. There is no divine comedy. Just the pain of getting back here to see you.
So it is not my eyes that deceive me, then it is my heart. I have pained to see thee lo these many years, and here you stand. She goes and rubs her hand through where that big crack of your skull was, and she feels that it's real. And she looks at you, her passion struggling with what is proper. Make me the romance role of your lifetime, William.
You get a +5 for your poem, right?
Yeah.
I also get a +5 Gislinda in my notes here.
My notes from 2020.
Probably. If you have notes, I mean...
I think it was from the last time I saw her.
Makes the heart grow fonder.
I think
you probably get a bonus
from.
from...
Yeah, I think it was
you did.
Romance roll or something. Vague.
I think you've been building it up. Yeah, I keep giving you, every time you succeed, I give you bonuses.
So I think I was at 10 now.
God, roll 20, please.
That's gonna be.
Oh, it was a 20. Jeez.
What happens?
So he'll, as she rubs his face, he will, of course, it's uncourtly, but he will hug her. He'll embrace her.
Oh, she doesn't have that. She plants one on you, William.
And he is not resisting at all. He'll lift her as she plants one on him. And to kind of give her a little twirl. The smell. It's been so long since I smelt your beauty, your perfume.
felt your beauty. Oh yeah.
So long since I have felt your embrace.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna bed her or not?
Well, we are going to bed because technically we are married, so it's not improper.
Bed her. Alright, so we'll fade to black then, I guess, unless you want to roleplay it.
Don't fade, don't fade.
Hang on, let me see what ChatGPT says. Give me a romance novel.
William sadly is a 5-pump chump.
I do believe I have better energetic than that, sir.
I mean, it's quite possible now. Back in the back when you guys are enjoying yourself here again, William never comes back. He bounced out and didn't come back. So you might be surmising that he found Gislinda is having himself a good time.
As he's never returned, Samson kind of turns to Renier. I will be honest, my friend. I'm very happy William has returned to us, but I had designs for Lady Gislinda to marry my brother, Sir Baldwin, further cementing my family's legacy. But it was not to be.
I believe your brother has found fortune this day. His life would have been perhaps richer in wealth, but much poorer in spirit. I have a feeling that she will injure our dear William, his soul, his fun, his joy. She will show him kindness for a while, but then, what do I know?
And you kind of see almost like I wouldn't say malevolence, but almost like a pragmatic indifference. Because that is not what Lady Gislinda would be for. She is there simply to secure her manors and her castle, and to produce hale children for my brother, so we may expand our influence in her long. I could care less if they have a long-loving marriage. What matters to me is what comes of it for our family through the generations.
I am speaking of William. William is not as pragmatic as you or I.
That is true. He would make an excellent paladin, devoting his life to Lord Charlemagne, but we cannot deny what the heart wants, and it seems the heart of William is set on Lady Gislinda.
My friend, you deny what the heart wants all the time. My heart!
Oh, that is not the heart you are thinking with, my friend.
No!
That is what true friendship is. Denying something I know you want because I am looking to save you, not just your immortal soul, but the things you think with. If your Lady Elena would find out, or worse yet, the brother of Lady Aelfric.
I am not worried about some Saxon living on an island thousands of miles away, my friend.
See, but that is where you and I disagree, my friend. It is not that some King of Wessex will come calling for your head and start a war over her honor. It is the alliances that the next King of Wessex can build with King Charlemagne, whether it is fighting the Moors in Spain or the Lombards here in Italy. It is not just about you and what is between your legs. It's about all of us and about our children. I think of Magnus, I think of Adalbern and Guntram and Sigwald. I think they are bastards, but there's a place in this world for them. As Charlemagne's kingdom grows, his allies grow with it. Do you not see the lands of the Avars to the east and think, would our children, our bastards, not be better served being bastardized or there in years to come?
I believe yes. With Charlemagne, our families can do much.
Very Perhaps emperor someday. Even they need powerful allies, my friend.
Very well, I will behave myself.
Remember, I have a very rare triplet on my hands, Theodard. He is a blessing enough for both of us,
Yes, he is a blessing. He will be raised well. He is a good father.
I will see he receives some of the best training with his brother, Sir William. No, I shouldn't have said Sir. His brother William and his sister Aelfric.
I think it is best that the princess returns home then, sooner than later.
When I return to Arlon, my next piece of affairs will be seeing her properly return to Wessex. Perhaps with me in tow to honor the agreement I made with King Cadwalla.
Perhaps. Well, I will find my wife and have my own fun. I have been away too long, and I have been faithful. As I always am to my wives.
Samson gives a smile. Very well. I bid you adieu, and you'll have a good night with Lady Elena. I wish to speak with the bishop here before I too return to my encampment to see my family.
He nods and takes a swig of wine and ruffles Magnus's hair and says, "See to the steward. He will show you to your quarters, boy."
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it, Duke. I mean, Uncle.
Yes. Don't puke on the floor. Someone will have to clean that up. And he just kind of saunters off.
And Samson kind of turns finally to the bishop. Tell me, Bishop, how much do you know of what is going on here within these Lombard lands of Italy?
The bishop puts his cup down and looks to Samson. I must say I am not very well versed. I have spent little time in these lands of late. My mission to the island took most of my time, and I have not kept up with what's happened here.
The island? Which island do you speak of?
Isn't that where I found this guy?
I think it was in Saxony, wasn't it?
You found him in Saxony, most likely.
Saxony. Oh, yeah. So that would be what, to the west, right?
It's like
it would be north
Germany.
by northwest of where
North
we are
Benevento.
here.
Yeah, okay. So. Cool. Let me just rephrase. And yeah, so my time in the north has taken me away from these lands and the knowledge.
I'm sorry to hear that. And you can see, out of character, Samson is known as someone who hates the Saxons with a passion. I think he might have mentioned that in the last episode. But what is it like dealing with such disgusting people? Do you have any success in having them follow the teachings of Christ?
They are a hard lot. Big-headed. But that was what the life of Christ was. Surrounded by the unbelievers, constantly being mocked and harassed. It is the life a bishop like me must lead in honor of my Lord. It is hard to make them understand, see the truth. But one must try.
I do not know what King Charlemagne has planned for them, but we have raided and invaded them on several occasions, and I've been most successful in defeating them. And one of these days, I do not know if he will give the order to kill them all or force them to convert to Christianity. It is A day I wish to see. But
They
Thanks,
need
kid.
some... I think that might be the only way. They do need some incentive to convert. Maybe a siege, maybe the threat of death.
Very true. But before we worry about Saxony, perhaps the Duke will invite you to this meeting with Prince Archelaus and the Duke of Naples, and you can provide a calming and measured effect on the negotiations.
Of course, after all, I'm a representative of the Vatican. They would be wise not to take steps or missteps against our Duke. And I'm here to report in all truthness whatever happens. I think me being by the side of the Duke will add more power to his voice.
Let us hope so, or perhaps it will be your prayer to my assembled battalion and the soldiers of Pavia to bring a holy sword and fire should they choose to rebel.
If they do, they will be rebelling against the Vatican as well. The Duke's hand is strong, and with you and William by his side, I do not think these snakes in the garden will dare to do much. But if they do, then so be it. They will all be put to the sword, and their lands will become part of the Duke's.
We shall see.
But tell me,
Yeah.
why are they here though?
Well, I believe it is one of allegiances, or the lack thereof. The Byzantines, they wish to maintain or spread their influence and power, and I know some of Lombardy is still somewhat resentful to King Charlemagne when he conquered them and defeated Desiderata however many years ago it has been now, but I believe they think while King Charlemagne's attention is focused on Spain and the Moors that they might test what they are able to get away with while his back is proverbially turned to the Italian peninsula.
That does make sense, that does. So we might be the first to fall if they do attack. And does have King Charlemagne fight on multiple battlefronts. I see. Well, thank you for putting that in perspective for me. This meeting is important, and I'll do my best to help the Duke.
It is all we can ask for.
It is getting late. You may wish to return to your family. Is there a chapel on these lands? I wish to prepare for this meeting by communing with my lord.
That, my friend, I do not know. You will have to speak with the steward or one of the servants of the Duke to point you to the nearest chapel.
Very well, then I shall take your leave.
Until the morrow. And with that, he kind of nods and gets up and makes his way back to his camp to see his wife and children and prepare for the next day.
Do a little scene, because I might give the bishop a little bit of a bonus. Good. As the bishop goes to the chapel or walks outside, and clearly there's not a image of Jesus Christ before you, but maybe with the radiance and the Spirit of God flowing through you, you see things when you commune with the Lord. And what happens when you go to the chapel there?
Yeah, the bishop has had a few drinks, and he's walking slowly, stumbles a couple of times, but then, eventually the cool night breeze helps him clear his head, and he finds a Small stone, stone chapel. Um, it's not fancy, not like the things he has seen in the Vatican or the greater cities he has been to. But at the same time, it has a feeling of peace and calm, a place of reverence. It's the simple things in these lands that always matter. The people, once they attain power and gold, riches, influence, they construct monstrosities in the names of their god, but it is not so much in the name of the god, but their own vanity that's on display. But the bishop, the Redeemer, finds these small places of worship, brings him closer to his Lord, brings him closer to the truth. The truth that life is simple and our actions do make it complicated. Our need to acquire and conquer. If only people could see. With these thoughts, he kind of goes into the chapel and finds a corner and kneels and starts his prayer.
Give me a love God. That's a crit, dude. That's a crit.
That's how much I love.
It's pretty bad that your skill is only 2, but it's a crit. So increase it to 3. Give it a check. And as you turn away from the chapel and from the cross and come up from your knees and leave your penance, you hear almost what sounds like a meteor striking the chapel. A giant explosion, and then the sound of add glory 50 to you. The sound of angels on high descending down upon heaven. And as you turn, Bishop, your vision is filled with a radiant white light as what looks to be an angel descends from on high, materializing in front of you, in front of the graven image of Jesus Christ. And give me a recognize roll. 2d20.
I do have a check in recognize from the last time.
That will help you in winter phase after we get your character set up.
Sweet.
Did you have a skill for recognize listed on your sheet?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, it would be a fail anyway. Because the first one's a skill, the second one's in the roll. It's a fail. So you don't know who this is, but it's the Archangel Michael from the Bible. A lot of times kind of associated with war and vengeance and that sort of thing. And it comes to you and says, Aelfric, the servant of our Lord God Most High, your heart has been found pure. You are here on the evening of a great battle, but I must inform you. Peril is at hand, Bishop. You must spread the word. For the Lord God moves in mysterious ways, and though his vengeance will lie heavy on the shadowy lands to the east and to the west, his blessings will be upon thee in the struggle against the enemies of the Vatican and of the Pope. The blessing of the Lord lies with King Charles and not these Roman usurpers.
And the bishop just falls to his knees and kind of, clutches his hands across his heart and looks at the light and just nods, but he's dumbfounded. He's never had a message like this. And he kind of just shakes his head.
And he kind of continues, but when the Lord giveth, he also taketh away. The company of the Paladins will soon be at the right hand of the Lord God in heaven, and King Charles will have need of new soldiers. For in 5 days' time, far to the west, in the land of Spain, the mountains will run red with the blood of the Franks. But you, Bishop, you and your men will find victory on the battlefield. Be assured. Look for friends when you can find them, but beware of snakes in the grass, and upon those thou shalt trample.
And the bishop now just, looks to the ground and, just says, "In Christ I believe, in Christ I believe. His love guides me, His love guides me."
And perhaps in humility as you cast your gaze to the ground, when you bring it back up to the cross, the vision of the archangel is gone. Anything else?
Yeah. So the bishop once the light kind of fades, he looks up and he keeps looking at the cross for a little while, and he realizes it was not a dream. It happened. So he, gets off the ground and starts walking back quickly to the what would you call this? Like the castle, right?
He has a castle.
Yeah.
Probably
So he goes back to the castle and he kind of asks around the guards to be pointed to Samson's camp. Even though it's late at night, um, when he gets there, he asks, Samson has a page or a valet to uh, wake him, for he needs to speak with him urgently.
Samson, the guards for his encampment, they guide the chaplain to kind of the largest pavilion and the most ornate within the encampment, and it has maybe to the left and like banners of checkered black and red, and a large red eagle on one standard, and one of them kind of stands at the pavilion's entrance, and Sir Samson, there's a chaplain here to see you. There's kind of a long pause, and eventually the tent opens and he comes out, maybe in a loose-fitting robe. What is it? What disturbs you at this hour?
Forgive me, Sir Samson, but I've had a message from God, and I do not wish to take it lightly. I know you have heard many men of God like me speak, but this is no ordinary message. I have been warned. Please double your guard. Please increase all checks in the castle. To me it seems that while there's a meeting, there might also be some hidden element, something in the shadow that might attack us when we least expect.
Most troubling. You believe there's treachery afoot?
Indeed. As with all messages from God, it is never quite clear what I must do or what will happen. But I do know this. Victory is assured if only we are careful of what happens over the next day or so. Be very wary. There might be elements already infiltrating this castle. I do not know from where or when. I do not even know who. But something tells me that they are already here.
Perhaps they speak of the emissaries from the Duke and the Prince. But we will double our guards and be extra vigilant in the days to come. I thank you for this message, Chaplain. Oh, Bishop, excuse me.
Thank you for hearing me, my son. I do not wish to keep you away from your family any longer. I wish you a good night, and may the blessings of our Lord be upon you.
And he kind of bows to him, and he goes to maybe one of a runner or something to summon his spy Morellis, and then also maybe some of his lineage men to not only increase patrols visibly, but he speaks with his spy master about going deeper into the shadows to ferret out anything out of the ordinary, or look for any sort of clue of treachery or some sort of plan against Duke Renier and his allies.
You guys want to wait for like these spies to come back, and let the emissaries chill for a couple days before you meet with them, or do you want to meet with them right away?
It's up to the Duke. I'd probably wait if it's only a couple
Do we know when they're supposed to be back?
I think it'd probably take 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, we probably just let them wait. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You could always, Samson would maybe say, be overly welcoming to them, but put off any talk of business. Host them, be the gracious host and lavish them. Perhaps take them over the countryside, showing them your vast wealth and magnanimity before agreeing to sit down with them only after our spies have returned.
Yeah, Rene would agree, and he does he gives them wine. Crispin's wine, just talks about how he's going to start selling it to the Franks and whatever, and just talks about kind of nonsensical stuff that doesn't have anything to do with Charlemagne or the Byzantines or anything like that.
All right. So I did one intrigue roll on my own for your wife, Samson. And I did another one for the other spies that Elena is kind of sending out. Elena is very good at intrigue, by the way, if you remember. And they come back with rumors, unconfirmed, of course. But the first comes to your ears, Samson. And the word is that Naples is very wish-washy on this whole thing. The rumor is that Duke Gregory has found a new religious life, and some even say that he's going to abandon his post and go to a monastery. And others say that he's only doing this because he's caught between the hammer and anvil of Byzantine and the Franks. As far as Prince Acus of Benevento goes, no news on him at all. Word is that his 2 sons, however, have recently arrived to camp. And everybody is talking about what that's about. Some are saying that he's going to offer the twins as hostages as part of a negotiation deal. Finally, Elena herself comes to you one day, Renier, and she says that the reason that the Duke and the Prince are so scared of the Byzantines is that Prince Leo of Byzantium has recently left and sailed across the sea because the Emperor himself has died. Unfortunately, the general that was left in his place has the reputation of being extremely crafty, extremely aggressive, and extremely ruthless. And his name is... what was his name? His name is... Look. His name is Theophilus. And a couple days go by, and then comes the day of court, where you're going to meet with all these folks. And let me go ahead and move your tokens. I'll let you guys take it away.
Is it possible in the 2 days while his spy master was away in Naples, Samson can do some investigating of his own to root out any, I don't know, ne'er-do-wellers within the shadows looking to upset the order of things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, let me get an intrigue, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a success. Give yourself a check mark.
Alrighty.
So, one thing Renier would like to do is he would like to talk to the emissaries of Naples first, and then the Prince of Benevento. Is that right? Later. So he wants to kind of like talk to them separately, kind of separate them, you know.
Yeah, they changed the shortcut to change things into different layers just using your keyboard, which sucks. Okay. So, Samson, what you uncovered is hesitate to call it a conspiracy, but late one night in the camp, one of the court magicians was found treating with some of the emissaries of both Benevento and Naples. And he's maintaining that the kingdom of Charlemagne soon will fall. And he's trying to switch sides and go over to the Naples and Benevento side. And he's saying, listen, basically paraphrasing, I've prayed on it. I've done the magic, and that Charlemagne soon will fall, and we should side with the Byzantines, and we should go over to them.
This is the court magician?
Yeah, like one of the type of, I don't know, he probably knew math and how to read back then, like one of those types, right?
He's a witch!
Like Giordano Bruno, like if you're familiar with those types of characters back in the day, right? Yep. Or in Elizabethan times, it was John Dee, right?
Yep, so he'll kind of keep an eye on that info, and he'll go to the Duke, Renier, and relay basically that the court magician believes that Charlemagne's time has come to the end, and he's looking to pledge allegiance possibly to the Byzantines. And well, I believe Duke Renier, we should either allow him to continue thinking we are unaware of his treachery, or do we immediately apprehend him? What is your thoughts on that?
I do not know. If we do apprehend him and he has friends or people that will notice that he is missing suddenly, then they could perhaps think that he has some sort of truth to his words. Instead, I think maybe the best course of action is to watch him and see who he can root out as other traitors. And then when this is all done, we will know who has turned against us.
Yes, let him go about thinking that his actions have gone unnoticed, and see what his plans are, and see if there's anybody else within your duchy that shares his Byzantine sympathies.
Yes, I think this is wise for now.
Very well, I will keep my men on him.
I believe I wish to speak to... I'm guessing we've shared all our information otherwise, right?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, Renier says, I'm going to speak to the emissary of Naples first, and then those of Benevento. Keep them separate, so they cannot find common ground with each other.
I said, I believe it is good to speak with the representatives of the Duke first, for if he is the least resolute in this matter, I believe it is good to pressure his agents to find either his loyalty reaffirmed or give him the out to join the convent or retire to a monastery, and then we would be allowed to exert more control over Naples.
Nods in agreement. Well, show them in, he says to the servants.
Yeah, the servants disappear, and there's a loud creaking as the doors kind of swing open, and the emissary of Duke Gregory is ushered in with his attendants and so forth. And there's likely a scribe there, and he has his own, advisors and so forth with him. He does the proper genuflections as he approaches the Duke of Spoleto. My lord, Duke Renier, your accommodations have been surprisingly thoughtful. The wine of your country that Crispin Medici speaks so highly of, it does not disappoint.
Thank you. It has been good to come to know you over these past few days. And now we'll come to the business at hand. I am glad you have enjoyed yourself in Spoleto, and hope that you will be my guest once again.
Indeed. Perhaps an alliance or partnership will last many years and be of mutually beneficial to both of our peoples. According to the townfolk here in Spoleto, we both enjoy the same things, Duke Renier. A peaceful countryside, a good hearty meal, the company of friends, and a beautiful woman.
It is why I have now called this place my home after many, many years of the cold north. So tell me, why have you come? This alliance that you speak of, I would hear more.
For too many years, the Byzantines have built settlements along our southern borders. We are not descended from the Franks, as you are, Duke Renier, but of the Lombards, who came to this peninsula many years ago and were only recently conquered by King Charles. Yet, we remain a proud people. We would not see ourselves conquered by these pretend Romans that dwell to the east. But yet, we are too proud of a people to call ourselves Franks and live under their rule. But we agree, a military alliance, Naples and the Papal States will live in coexistence in peace, neither ruling over one another, both brothers in Christ. And we will stand together against this Byzantine menace along our southern borders.
Well, certainly you do not mistake me for King Charles.
Nay, but are you not his highest-ranking officers in these environs?
I certainly am, but I cannot give you everything that you wish, some promise of independence. But what I can say is that you will be treated as respectful as possible, and you may negotiate this with King Charlemagne himself at a later date. But I can and will pledge my men, along with yours, to push back these Byzantines. And if
Very well.
If your men fight, then I believe that my lord will see to grant you some freedoms.
These freedoms, I do not think they should be granted. Respectfully, Duke Renier. We have lived under self-government for these last 300 years. and my people, and the people of Naples will not take kindly to a ruler from the far north.
Do I know, Duke Gregory's family? Does he have children? Does he have...
Oh, geez, I don't know. What do we say here? Probably history? Let me look. Just give me like a not heraldry, not recognize either, really. Give me an intrigue, I guess. It's kind of.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Intrigue? I'm not very good at it, I don't think.
Probably get a bonus based on your portly.
Okay. Yeah, what do we get? Bonus of glory, so 6. Okay. Not terrible. Nope.
Is that with the bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know much about his family. You could
He
ask.
just asked, then he just says, Your Duke Gregory, does he have children?
Yes, my lord. An oldest son and 2 youngest daughters. All by the same woman. Not meant to be a sneer.
He says, and there has rumors, excuse me if they're unfounded, that your Duke has entirely devoted himself to God, and that perhaps the political world is not one that he wishes to remain in, but instead devoting himself to the Holy Father and the Church instead.
You can see that you kind of struck a nerve, and he lowers his voice. My lord, Duke Gregory is a very devout man. In times of darkness, he doesn't take solace in the Lord, and perhaps a life free of political struggles in a monastery. But rumors about him abandoning his post are unfounded.
What is abandoning when you have a strong male heir to take your place? One that King Charlemagne, and as your neighbor here in Spoleto, could help make sure succeeds.
I am listening, my lord.
Well, we can do nothing until we succeed against the Byzantines. I don't know why I keep saying Byzantines.
If I am hearing you correctly, then your blessing will be bestowed upon the house of Duke Gregory and his descendants, should he decide to abdicate his role. That's what I hear?
He will not need to worry about what happens to his family.
He retires and speaks with his counselors. I would only ask that your scribe place this in writing. We feel confident that Duke Gregory will agree to these terms.
Can I make a roll or something to see if this is something that Charlemagne would get behind? Even if it's not even true, I don't really care. He's just making his best guess of what Charlemagne would want him to do.
Yeah, I do love Charlemagne.
Love Charlemagne? Okay.
Yep. I think he would be on board with this because it solves the problem, and then you'll have more power, and if you want to crush them later, you can.
Right, that's kind of what Renier was thinking as well, honestly. Yeah, he says, I will. Please. I would appreciate if you do not speak of our alliance to the next guests that will be entering. And obviously they've all been together, so he knows who he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks to his friends. Do you have anything you wish to ask this man?
does I do, my Duke? I'm only curious while we are forging alliances and ensuring the benefit of those true to Christendom on the Italian peninsula. Tell me, does the son of Duke Gregory, is he betrothed to anyone at this time?
I do not believe so. He is but a lad of 13.
How old is Renee's sister?
Way too old.
Okay.
Mid-20s, but I do have a daughter. I do have a not a bastard. Hold on. Ermeline's daughter. Let me see. She is, what year is it?
It is 770 what? 8?
778. 778, yep.
She's 6. Not
That's
terrible.
not that bad. Then while we are forging alliances, perhaps I could humbly suggest that the Duke's son consider a betrothal to Duke Renier's daughter. She is a few years younger, but well within birthing age by the time he becomes a knight. What stronger connection is there between two families by that of blood and marriage?
Yeah, Renee considers, and perhaps I would wish to meet the boy, but I do have a daughter of 6 years. She was of my first wife. Her name is Rosefind. She is beautiful like her mother. And Renee hasn't seen her probably since she's like 3. He has no idea.
So he will leave then. Are you asking him as hostage or just as a betrothal?
But we were just kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
Samson just put the earwig in, you know.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a betrothal probably, and obviously I'm sure if the alliance is something they agree to, that both Duke Gregory and the son would, meet at some point, either before or after the any battle to come.
Next to come in is the emissary of Prince Arrakis. I keep saying Arrakis of Benevento. And with him are two lads of about the same age, 9 and 11 kind of range. He introduces himself as the emissary of the Prince of Benevento and gives very much the same story as Duke Gregory did. And that's why, he says that he has not sworn allegiance to either the Papal States or to Charlemagne. And again, he wants to keep some sort of independence. But this emissary says that Duke Arrakis is prepared to offer both of his sons as hostages to King Charlemagne for this. In exchange for helping against the Byzantines.
I mean, I don't see. Yeah, Renee. Do I need to do another intrigue roll or anything? Or love
No.
Charlemagne? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Renee would be like, I think this is a good idea. And we certainly can help you with these Byzantines to forge an alliance that works for both of us. And he kind of gives him the exact same spiel as he did before, and kind of he looks to William and he just says, I have a daughter that is near their age. Perhaps we could see this deal with a betrothal down the line. Just kind of the exact same thing, pandering to them and trying to get their support and their men.
If there aren't any more questions, I guess we'll consider that deal done as well.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Nah, Samson will be. He won't bring up the betrothal question. Are they gone then?
Yeah, I think so.
May I speak freely, my Duke?
Yeah, of course.
I believe if we are to join forces with the Duke and the Prince, then it is almost assured, I believe, there will be a fight of some kind with these Byzantines, especially if this general is as aggressive as they believe him to be.
Yes. I believe with our lord in Spain, we cannot wait any longer. I must make a decision, and I have decided to push them out of Italy.
I believe with our newfound allies, we would be able to succeed in that. We have the army of Pavia, we have my retinue, as small as it is. They are very battle experienced, and might I suggest, if I am being a little perhaps jaded, that we ensure that the people to engage the enemy first are those of Naples and Benevento.
Of course, they should prove their valor to us as our new allies. They have the most to lose, after all. And I would appreciate it if you would take command of our armies.
I would be most honored to act as your marshal for the battles to come.
And Bishop, if you would travel with our armies and give of prayers to God for a victory against these interlopers from the east.
Of course, my Duke. I shall accompany you and your men. Christ is with us, and the day will be ours.
God is with us, and there is no greater sign than that than William of Verdun. By my side once again, William, will you bring your sword to bear against our enemies one last time?
No, there would be no last time. There is always enemies to be had. Yes, that's one thing I've learned. But of course I'd be there.
True enough, true enough. Well then, let us prepare. Take your women to bed, for we go to war.
William, give me a little montage of you, almost like King Theoden, feeling his sword again, and you getting on your horse and getting ready to go to war, because it's been a long time since you wore the armor of a Frankish knight.
Yeah, William, after spending a little more time with Gislinda, would ask her assistance at donning the armor, usually left to a squire that is not with him. And as he gets his assistance to put it on, he starts moving around, feeling loose. It feels just like home again. And he kind of moves his arms back and forth and picks up his legs. It's a bit heavier than I remember, but it feels great. And he will, of course, take his favor from Gislinda and mount his horse. And he throws the sword, he pulls it out and gives it a few swings. And then he'll start cantering over to his friends.
Yeah, Renier would say his goodbyes to Elena, and kiss his new babe, Adamo, who's probably like 10 months old, and departs with his forces.
You want to do the battle or call it a night?
So
11:30.
I don't care.
I'm ready to go if you guys are.
That's right.
Got the Sim and X.
X is
Good life.
It's a prayer. he can drink and get high being the priest.
A weapon he can run on there. He can be a battle priest.
Hits him.
I need a Crozius.
Hits him with his
Oh, now
little-
that we're
little
allied,
scepter.
before we leave, we don't have to resolve it now, but I'm gonna keep Duke. Do we need to keep an eye on this court magician still, or should we leave a snake in the grass before we are off to war?
I would have. Yeah, while we're gone, he needs to be captured. I think it won't matter once we're gone. Yeah, he would say, yes, I will have Elena and her uncle take care of him. And he would let them know to get rid of him.
And just like narratively, you guys leave, and the day you leave, it's a day's march to the battlefield, and it's well described that the military tactics are really at a low point during this time in European history. It took all their logistical power just to get everybody on the field at the same time for a couple months to march to war. But the day after they leave, which just so happens to be the day that the Paladins were slaughtered almost to a man in the Battle of Roncesvalles. There's this scene of maybe like this court magician with these occultic symbols in a circle and a triangle. And he's gazing into a crystal ball, and he sees an army marching over a mountain range in northern Spain. And he sees Roland with his sword gleaming as Saracens and many others come down from the mountains and ambush attack on the rear guard of the train. And more of these invaders from the south fall upon the Franks, and their army is completely decimated. And he's seeing all this in the crystal ball, and it's almost as if this court magician is having a heart attack. He clutches his chest, and then they bounce out like the Gestapo, Renier's men, and Elena is at their backside. Him! Arrest him! And they grab him roughly and drag him off to the dungeons. No! I was wrong! And so we come to the next morning. The morning that battle will likely be pitched. And word has gone out, and the armies of Benevento are there, aligned with yours. A small force from Naples is there, and that's headed up by one of Duke Gregory's oldest sons. He has an advisor at his side, but he's what, like 11? Is that what I said?
Oh,
and
he's
he's like a brave lad, man. He's like with the army, and he reports that his father seeks to be one with the mind of Jesus Christ and has retired to a monastery to live out his years, and that he is ascending to his position, and that he's proud to fight at the side of the Franks. This is a huge battle, like 10,000 people. It's going to be a large one.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let me get my little battle cheat sheet out here. Battles obscure. Here we go.
We're gonna get blessed before the battle begins.
Yeah, we gotta
We're gonna say our,
Good.
say our prayers and eat our vitamins.
Do your prayers.
Home.
So
Renier.
this is August 16th that this is all happening. This is the day after the Battle of Roncevaux Pass. And the scene is one of, thousands of men lined up on either side. Foot soldiers, not many archers, a lot of people on foot, and then, all the knights in the vanguard. The army commander by default would be Renier, as the highest ranking person. Now, according to the rules, if I see reason to do so, you can use somebody else's role as the army commander, but you're also going to need like at least one other battalion commander. So that could be William or it could be Samson.
Yeah, I was going to give Samson, as I mentioned, I was going to give Samson control of the army as my marshal. What is it?
So
battle rolls? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah. So he will be in charge of commanding the army. So it's the very first role. So he'll be the army commander and he'll be the battalion commander. And if you guys all want to just stay together and to be in the same unit, that he's going to be making all the battle rolls. In character, I mean, traditionally you guys would all be in your own units with all your men and stuff. But maybe you're sticking together for something, or you could split up. It's up to you guys.
William, what's your battle?
That's a mighty good question.
So it's the first one under combat skills.
14.
Yeah. Samson, yours is like 20, right?
Yes, sir.
I think we just let Samson do them all.
Okay. Now the other part you have to decide is how committed you are to this, and that's going to commit you to X number of rounds of combat. So basically, you pick a number from 1 to I think it's 16 to how committed you are. They say the normal range is kind of like 6 to 12 range of how committed your army is to winning this battle, winning this engagement.
0 to 12, 8 being typical.
Yeah. I've made a roll in the background for the Byzantines, and you just pick your own. The plus side of it is this: if you outlast them, you will win probably. But also, if you're willing to go longer, there's going to be more chances of player character deaths because you're going to have to take that many rounds of combat.
Guess that's up to me, huh?
That's up to you. Basically, I think each melee round represents a half hour, so 12 rounds would be 6 hours of warfare. So you have to decide how much did the Byzantines want to fight.
This general is the it's 0 to 12, is that what you said?
Yep.
Let's do 10.
There you go.
All right, let's get some prayers going.
Isn't there an option that's not a prayer, like impassion yourself, like love Charlemagne?
That's
the prayer.
No, there's a prayer and then there's an impassion, right?
Yeah, prayer is separate from the passion.
Yeah. So I'll impassion myself. I'm not gonna pray.
I'm gonna do both.
I'm gonna let X give a speech about God, and then I'll probably impassion myself.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see it.
Yeah, but just give me. Can I take a short break? I just need to go use the bathroom.
Yeah, let me do that too, real quick.
I need some water.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I gotta look at the prayer section again. It's been a long time. I'll get some water.
All right, I'm back.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, we're back.
Fight some civilized Christian people for once.
You gonna get him.
Hey, let me see here. Zypher doesn't have his stats set up for this. Hey, let me just let him use what's one of those bishops that we had? One of those ones we've used in the past.
Oh, like
Theodulf, Archbishop Theodulf. No, that's not one. Turpin, yeah, Turpin. Wait, let me see if he's on here. Let me see if I had his stats set up. Nah. Just the combat ones. I can set that up. See if I can set him up quickly. PC. Here, what I'm going to do. Hey, Cypher, you back yet? Ooh. you remember the rules for shields, Mike?
Yeah.
It's odd. It
you,
gets damaged, right?
For every 6 on your damage roll, it takes 1 point away from it. It gives you 6 points of armor, and then every 6 on damage
Yes.
subtracts 1.
Okay, yeah. So 10/Y is 16 armor, but that 6 for the shield can be whittled down. You guys just want to roll now while we're waiting for people to get back to figure out who you're going to fight against on this first charge?
Yep, I'm back.
No, we can do it later then.
Yeah,
All right, who are we waiting on? Tet, you back?
Guess I'll what do I roll?
So
Lord.
it's gonna be a it's a 1d20 plus 6
1d20
all night
plus
tonight.
6. Okay.
That's what it's gonna be.
So for passion, I'll do honor. And then I guess he'll do prayer after that.
Oh yeah, well you might want to do his prayer first, because if he succeeds in his prayer, and then you succeed on love God, then you get the benefit of his prayer.
I already succeeded, so I won't take it back.
Also, in case anybody wonders, it's April 16th, right, Bo? Is that what you
August
said?
16th. August.
August. Okay.
Why?
He was seeing what if that was a Sunday.
August 16th, 778.
Negative. I'm seeing what feast day it is.
It's there is more than 1,000 faithful Christians praying though.
That is true.
You just say ordinary day. You don't think is a feast day or anything?
Oh, it's the Catholic Church. There's a feast day every day of the.
Does anybody have a relic?
I do. If I still have it, I still have my
Oh, wow.
fingers, finger bones.
The finger bones of Merlin, or what was it from?
No, the finger bones from that I was born. I inherited
Some
finger
knight.
bones.
Sorry.
I didn't inherit them.
I'm back.
Yeah, that was my part of my Frankish birth gifts things.
Yeah, it's a +2 then, I guess.
Are we rolling Love Charlemagne?
So if you want to receive Zypher's prayer,
Mm-hmm.
Zypher would roll Love Charlemagne, and you guys roll Love God to receive it.
Oh.
And what happens if we fail?
Nothing on that one. It's kind of like a freebie.
Okay.
So the holy day it would be as a feast day would be Saint Diomedes, August 16th. Telling you, there's a saint for every day.
Okay.
4th century. He died in the 4th century.
Like 50 years ago.
I'm giving it to you for the
80 years
research,
ago.
Fraz. I give it to you.
Asteroid comes down.
So you have a +3 for the size of the people praying. You have near a relic, which is a +2, so that's a +5. And then a holy day is a +1. So it'd be a +6. So so Zypher, make me a Love Charlemagne at +6. And tell me how you bless the army. Hopefully you succeed. It's a Game of Thrones music comes on.
So his stat would be 9. His roll would be 8 plus 6.
I
Wait,
set the I set some stats up on his character real quick.
Gotcha.
You just rolled off your sheet now. So
It'll
if
be
you
under what, courtly? Or no, it won't. Passions.
it'll be under passions and attitudes.
Or you can just
Cypher.
roll d20.
I just rolled 2d20, right?
Oh
No,
no,
it's on
we've been doing that because your stats hadn't been set up. But I set them up real quick while you're AFK.
So love Charlemagne is that what you may do?
Yep.
6.
So 12.
Can't be right.
He didn't do the plus
Your
6.
threshold.
Yeah, he got it.
That would be. Yep. Yeah, that would have gotten it because that would have been a 12. So how do you address the troops?
Okay. Where's the music? No music.
Need some inspirational music.
Yeah, man. Where's the music?
Let me see. Oh, I can hear it. No, here's a good one. Here's a good one.
Crazy train.
No, here's a good one. You hear it yet?
It's starting low.
Fine, look. So I'm assuming that the two armies are standing facing
Yeah,
each other.
a couple hundred yards apart. Yep.
And then Renier, Samson, William, and myself are at the front or somewhere in the front, right?
Oh yeah.
Between the time when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of
Damn, Cypher, you sound demonic now.
Wrong
Yeah.
game.
I think we're playing the gate now.
and onto the
Wait, let's wait for this guy to finish talking.
crown of
I didn't know it had sounds, and I downloaded that Anvil of Crom while we were playing, so I didn't have a chance to listen to it. So I had lyrics. Okay, go ahead.
Cool. So the bishop looks out to the enemies and he kind of raises his rosius sword, and he says, "Do you see that? Do you see that? Are you all insulted as I am? This is what they send against us. This is what they send. This rabble. We are the warriors of one of the mightiest empires on this land. We stand united in our thousands. Our swords without number. Our purity without question. And our heart beating courage through this blood. And this is how they attack us with this rabble. Children of Christ, listen to me. The legion of beggars and the dregs of society wheezes its way across this battlefield. Forgive me when the moment comes that they whine and weep against our shields. Forgive me that I must order you and bless you to waste your swords upon their worthless bodies." And the bishop turns to the men. "I have heard many souls speak of his name in whispers since I have joined your company. I ask you now, do you know him? Do you know him? He is our Lord and our Savior. He is our protector. Never in your life will your actions have such consequence. Never again will you serve as you are going to serve now. No duty will matter as much and no glory will be as true. We are the defenders of our Lord, and on this day we shall carve our legend on the flesh of every unbeliever that we slay. Will you stand with Renier? Will you stand with him? Children of Christ, our blood is the blood of heroes and martyrs. The unbelievers dare defile our land. They dare tread the sacred soil of our cities. This is our land." And then he kind of turns around and points his sword at the other army. Come at us! Come die by the steel and the shield. Come and die by the steel and the shield. For Renier, for Charlemagne, for Christ. And kind of.
All right. Now you guys do your love God to see if you get that prayer.
Oh yeah, I do.
He said, love Charlemagne. Yep.
Love God
love
to
God,
receive
sorry.
it. Yep. Sim's got it.
Oh, crit!
Got that crit?
What's that, plus 10?
No. It's better than that. Let me find
Plus
it.
20.
Oh my god, we're gonna, if that's true, plus 20, we're gonna slaughter them.
You guys are gonna slaughter these people. You guys are gonna slaughter these people. You also struck deals with both those people, so you're gonna have 2-to-1 odds against them. God, I'm so spoiled with compendiums now.
Gonna make your own compendium.
Yeah, I think I want to go to Foundry for everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to move everything over.
I don't know. I can't find it in the freaking book. I'll have to.
For
What
how
are you
much
looking
I
for?
get.
Yeah.
It's right
Yeah,
there in
pull it
prayer
up.
result.
Oh, here we go. I probably thought that
Plus
I didn't
20,
have this problem.
and you get a if you
Helping
weekly
saint
succeed.
or angel appears and temporarily grants plus 20 to all characters for their actions. You
Oh
get
my
plus
God.
1. You get plus 1 in a check to the passion. These
And
are prayer. These
we
are
all get
prayer
plus
results.
20.
No, that's just me.
No, to all of the characters. For oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is plural
So
characters.
I
Come on
get,
now.
I get to
If you
check
say-
to love God.
If you get plus 10, if you just succeed, you get a plus 10, which is still good.
What table?
I guess there is a failure. Oh, you know what? It's not fail. It's if you fail in your actions. Like if you lose this battle, you go into shock.
Gotcha.
You aren't going to lose though.
Not now.
That was stuck on my screen. I had to roll it. I passed my passion as well.
All right, ready for the charge?
Are we impassion ourselves as well?
Yeah, get a plus 10 on it.
Well, it's plus 5 for passion, isn't it?
No, he gets a plus 10 to his roll for his passion check.
Yep. Well, it's skill rolls, so you don't get it on that.
Oh.
I got it.
Yeah.
Got it anyway.
Yeah, so we're plus 30?
No, he is
Okay.
I'm plus 25.
25 plus 25. So
And
you
we're
would be
plus 15?
you plus 15.
Okay.
This is going to be a slaughter.
So after his speech, on his horse as he's preparing his charge, he's talking to the son of the Duke of Naples, and he kind of welcomes him. Welcome, for I am Sir Samson of Verdun, and let me tell you, I have never lost a battle. Some 10 years ago here with my Lombard allies, I retrieved the Oriflamme, leading a countercharge to destroy the Saracens and their mercenary allies. After that, I sieged several castles throughout our realm. I ravaged the Saxon lands. I defeated the Jutes and decapitated their leader, Jarl Dreamwolf. I have seen battle after battle, and I have lost none of them. I have sieged down the Castle Herbermont. I have destroyed the Saxons, and today will not be the day that I taste defeat. Listen to me, follow my lead, trust in my orders, and we will drive them back into the sea, for which they will never return.
All right. Roll battle. All right,
Okay.
Mr.
Roll battle.
So, first thing you gotta do is roll battle. This is for your tactical advantage or not.
I crit.
Obviously.
We're unit commanders, right?
Nope,
No.
you guys are all going to be in the same unit.
You're going to be under my battalion.
Well, no, the battalion is different than unit. The unit is a smaller form.
Right, but you guys are all going to be within the same unit. I thought.
We're in the
That's
same
what I thought.
battalion.
I thought we were all within, for ease, we were in the same unit. I know what you're talking about. Though.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I'm going to have to say we're going to do this next time because I'm getting really tired.
That's fine. If we
Let's
need to
stop it
continue
here then.
Yeah.
You want me to stop it?
Yeah.
Okay.